Hi friends, my name is Dr. Munir Jan. I'm anesthesiologist and intensivist. Today in this slide video presentation, I will be discussing what is target, what is cycle, and what is baseline. So let's begin.
Basics of Ventilator Part 2. As I said in this slide video presentation, I will be discussing what is target, what is cycle, and what is baseline, that is the proximal airway pressure during expiration. So let's begin with slide number 1. Now target. Target variable is the most misunderstood phase variable. Part of this confusion arises from the fact other names are commonly used for this variable, including control and limit. Now, what is target? Target variable regulates how flow is administered during inspiration. The variable most commonly used for target include flow and pressure. So either it could be flow targeted or it could be pressure targeted. Volume, specifically tidal volume, is technically not a target variable. So I repeat it, volume, specifically tidal volume, is technically not a target variable because it does not clarify how the flow is to be delivered. Now, setting a tidal volume does not determine whether that volume is to be delivered over short period of time or over long period of time. Note that volume delivered per unit time, which is the definition of target variable. There is a relationship between the flow, proximal airway pressure, alveolar airway pressure, and the airway resistance. So what is this? Q, that is the flow, is equal to proximal airway pressure minus alveolar pressure divided by the airway resistance. So what does it mean? That flow is indirectly related to the airway resistance and flow is directly related to the difference between the proximal airway pressure and alveolar pressure. Okay, so it is very important to understand this formula and remember this formula if you want to know about the impact of respiratory system when either the flow is kept as the target or the proximal airway pressure is kept as the target. When flow is kept as the target, the other variable become dependent on the flow. Okay, so the flow will be independent and the other variable like proximal airway pressure, alveolar pressure, and the airway resistance, they are dependent variable. When the proximal airway pressure is kept as the target, the other variables like flow, like alveolar pressure and the airway resistance, they become the dependent variables. Okay. The target can be either flow or proximal airway pressure, but not both at the same time. So you cannot set the ventilator both flow targeted and proximal airway pressure targeted. When either flow or proximal airway pressure is set by the ventilator as target variable, as I said, the other variables become the dependent variable. Okay, like its value is determined by target variable, resistance, and alveolar pressure. Now flow target. With flow target, flow is selected as an independent variable. Okay, so the flow will be independent variable. The ventilator simply delivers the flow as set by the provider. Therefore, the proximal airway pressure becomes dependent on flow, resistance, and alveolar pressure. Like I was discussing that equation, Q is equal to proximal airway pressure minus alveolar airway pressure divided by resistance. Okay, so if you have kept the Q as an independent, that means the independent variable, the other variables like proximal airway pressure, alveolar airway pressure, and the resistance will be dependent on this flow. Now, the flow waveform pattern, which describes the pattern of gas flow, is also selected. The most commonly used flow waveform are constant flow and decelerating flow. Now, what is the difference between decelerating and the constant flow? You can see in this figure, okay, with constant flow waveform pattern, also known as the square waveform pattern, there is the inspiratory flow rises instantly to the set level and remains constant during the inspiratory cycle. So you can see the figure, the relationship between the flow and the time. Okay, so you can see this is the constant flow waveform pattern. You can see there is the inspiratory flow instantly rises to a set level and remains constant, okay, during the inspiratory cycle. So this is what is also known as the rectangular or square waveform pattern. Now the other waveform pattern is decelerating. Now decelerating ramp waveform pattern, the inspiratory flow rate is highest at the beginning of the inspiration when the patient flow demand is often greatest, and then it depreciates to zero flow. You can see the figure, there is the decelerating ramp pattern where what happens, you can see in the figure, the inspiratory flow is highest at the beginning. So it is very high at the beginning when the patient flow demand is often greatest. Then it depreciates to the zero flow. So these are the two waveforms that can happen in case of when you have kept the flow as a target. So you'll either select as a square waveform pattern or the rectangular waveform pattern, or you can select the decelerating ramp pattern. Okay, is it clear? Now the key points, key concepts. Target variable can be flow or pressure. Volume is not a target variable, but it can be a cycle variable. So target, either flow or pressure targeted, volume per se cannot be a target variable. Now pressure target, with a pressure target, the proximal airway pressure is selected as the independent variable. The ventilator delivers flow to quickly achieve and maintain proximal airway pressure during inspiration. Therefore, flow becomes dependent on proximal airway pressure, that is the target variable, resistance and alveolar pressure. So ventilator will deliver the flow quickly to achieve that proximal airway pressure that we have selected as the target. Now pressure targeted modes naturally produce a decelerating ramp flow waveform. Since proximal airway pressure remains constant during the inspiratory phase of the pressure targeted breath, and assuming the resistance does not change significantly during the breath, flow must decrease as alveolar pressure increases. Therefore, flow will be highest at the beginning of the breath and decreases as the inspiratory phase proceeds. That is what I described earlier. That is what is the decelerating waveform pattern, where the flow abruptly increases at initially and then it decreases slowly to the zero level. Now key concept, pressure targeted modes produce decelerating. Just remember it. If you have selected pressure targeted mode, if you have selected the pressure target, then what will happen to the waveform pattern? You don't have to select either. In case of flow, what we have, we can select either the square waveform pattern or we can select the decelerating waveform pattern. But in case of pressure targeted, they naturally produce decelerating waveform pattern. Okay. Now, flow versus pressure target. The difference between the modes using flow and pressure target is most evident when there is a change in the respiratory system, either because of change in the resistance, compliance. Now, if there is a change in the respiratory system, the respiratory system will behave differently. Okay, the parameters will be different when either we have selected flow as a target or we have selected pressure as the target. Now, to illustrate, when a change in respiratory system occurs, the set target variable remains unchanged. Either we have kept target as flow or the pressure. If we have kept flow as a target, flow will not change. If we have kept pressure as the target, pressure is not going to change if there is a change in the respiratory system. While the other dependent variable changes as the ventilator cannot set both flow and proximal airway pressure as the target simultaneously. Now, to illustrate it more, we have to imagine two patients, patient A and patient B. In patient A, what we have kept, we have flow targeted mode, while in case of patient B, we have pressure targeted mode. Okay. Now, if the two patients bite the endotracheal tube during the inspiratory phase, each patient will experience an acute rise in airway pressure. Okay, so if the patient bites the endotracheal tube, there is acute rise in the airway resistance. In this scenario, the two ventilator modes will respond differently to change in the respiratory system. In patient A, since the target variable is flow, flow remains unaffected and higher proximal airway pressure is required to maintain the set flow. Okay, so what does it mean? You can see from this figure, you can see there is the relationship between the flow and proximal airway pressure and the alveolar airway pressure. Okay, so we have the relationship between the proximal airway pressure, alveolar airway pressure, and the resistance. Now, if the patient is biting the endotracheal tube, there is increase in the resistance. Okay. Now, in case of flow targeted, that is the patient A, what will happen to the flow? It is unaffected. It cannot change because we have selected it. We have targeted the flow. Now, what is the thing that will change when there is increase in the resistance? There will be increase in the airway pressure. Proximal airway pressure is going to increase because in order to keep this flow as a constant, proximal airway pressure has to increase. Okay. Now, in other scenario, what we have, the pressure targeted mode, that is the patient B. Now, if there is increase in the this airway resistance, what will happen to the flow? It is going to decrease. Why? Because there will not be any change in the proximal airway pressure because we have kept that as a target variable. So in order to keep the balance, in order to keep this proximal airway pressure constant, flow has to decrease. Okay. So flow will decrease in case of when we have kept the proximal airway pressure as the target variable if the airway resistance is increased. And in case of flow targeted mode, if the airway resistance increases, proximal airway pressure increases. Okay, is it clear? Now, if instead of biting the endotracheal tube, now we have the second scenario where instead of biting the endotracheal tube, the patient makes a sustained respiratory efforts by contracting their inspiratory muscles during inspiration. Each patient will experience a decrease in alveolar pressure. So with inspiratory efforts, so as I discussed in my previous lecture also, with inspiratory efforts, there is decrease in the alveolar pressure. Okay. So then what will happen? In this scenario, two ventilator modes will again respond differently. So there, the change in the respiratory system will be different in both patient A and patient B. Patient A, we have kept flow as a target. Patient B, pressure as the target variable. Now in patient A, you can see from this equation, okay, Q is equal to proximal airway pressure minus alveolar pressure divided by the resistance. Now if there is sustained inspiratory efforts, now what will happen with the sustained inspiratory efforts? Alveolar pressure is going to be decrease. Now with this, if the patient has flow targeted mode, that is patient A, the flow is constant. It will not change. But what has to change, that is the proximal airway pressure. In order to keep this flow as constant, the proximal airway pressure will decrease. That is the reason in case of sustained inspiratory efforts, you can see on the ventilator, if the patient is on flow targeted mode, you can see the decrease in the proximal airway pressure. Now in case of second, where we have patient B pressure targeted mode, now if there is sustained inspiratory efforts but pressure, proximal airway pressure is constant, then what will happen to the flow? It tends to increase in order to keep this proximal airway pressure constant. Okay, so there will be increase in the flow when there is sustained inspiratory efforts by the patient in case of pressure targeted mode. In case of flow targeted, there is decrease in the proximal airway pressure. Clear? Now key concept, flow and proximal airway pressure cannot be set as the target simultaneously. Second, when one variable is set as the target, the other will vary with change in the respiratory system. Significant inspiratory efforts by the patient can be detected in those receiving flow targeted ventilation by examining the pressure waveform. So if you simply examine the pressure waveform, in case of flow targeted, you can say whether there are inspiratory efforts or not. Proximal airway pressure decreases with inspiratory efforts. There is diverts in the pressure waveform during the flow targeted mode are indicative, and these are indicative of patient inspiratory efforts. So you can see in this figure, pressure versus time, there is the flow targeted mode. Flow is targeted. Okay, you can see the divert, you can see the dip in this inspiratory phase of the pressure. That will tell us that there are the inspiratory efforts by the patient. Now it is important to note that patient, despite of making inspiratory efforts that reduce airway pressure, cannot trigger the ventilator during the inspiratory phase. I am repeating it. Ventilator does not trigger the ventilation, does not trigger the breath during inspiratory phase. If the patient has inspiratory efforts during the inspiratory phase, it is not going to trigger the ventilator. The patient can only trigger the ventilator during the expiratory phase, that is the baseline. So remember it for your, if you want to make sure the ventilator, basics of ventilator is clear to you, that the ventilator never triggers in inspiratory phase. It will only trigger in expiratory phase. Variable, that is the cycle. The cycle variable determines when to terminate the inspiratory phase of breath. The term to cycle is synonymous with to terminate inspiration. Okay, so cycle will determine when to terminate the inspiration. The variable most commonly used for cycle include volume, time, and flow.
Volume
so
cycled.
It could be volume cycled, either it could be flow cycled, or it could be time cycled. Now in case of flow cycled breath, the inspiratory phase continues until a set volume has been delivered. For time cycled breath, the inspiratory phase continues until a set time has elapsed. For flow cycled breath, the inspiratory phase continues until the inspiratory flow diminishes to a set value. Flow cycling is most commonly utilized with pressure targeted modes, where flow is delivered to maintain a specified airway pressure. Now, with flow cycling, the ventilator is set to terminate the breath when the inspiratory flow diminishes to a selected percentage of peak inspiratory flow. Increasing the percentage of peak inspiratory flow for cycling to occur decreases the inspiratory time and vice versa. Now, for example, if you have selected flow as the cycle variable, okay, so if the breath is flow cycled, now usually what we select 25%, okay. Now what does it mean 25%? That means when peak inspiratory flow decreases to 25%, then inspiratory phase will terminate. Okay. Now, if you increase from 25% to 35%, that means the peak inspiratory flow, when decreased to 35%, then the inspiratory phase will terminate. So simply, if you have increased from 25 to 35%, then what will happen to the inspiratory time? It will decrease. Okay. Now simply, if you select from 25% to 10%, so you have decreased from 25% to 10%. This means now if the peak inspiratory flow decreases up to 10%, then inspiratory phase will terminate. So by decreasing from 25 to 10%, you have increased the inspiratory phase. You have increased the inspiratory phase. Now the termination of breath will happen when the peak inspiratory flow will decrease from 25% to 10%. Now this concept is very important when we manage patients with ARDS and COPD patient, where we have to change the inspiratory and expiratory ratio. So by this flow change, you can also change the inspiratory time. Now the last thing, that is the baseline. The baseline variable refers to the proximal airway pressure during the expiratory phase. This pressure can be equal to zero pressure, known as the zero and expiratory pressure, that is ZEEP, zero and expiratory pressure, in which the ventilator allows for complete recoil of the lung and chest wall, or it can be held above the atmospheric pressure by the ventilator, that is what is known as the positive and expiratory pressure. That's what, or it can held, that is what I was discussing, it can be held above the atmospheric pressure by the ventilator, that is known as the positive and expiratory pressure, that I will be discussing in detail in my upcoming videos when we will discuss management of ARDS patient. Now the take home message. First, target. Target, either it could be flow targeted or it could be pressure target. Ventilator cannot set both flow and the pressure simultaneously as the target variable. Either it could be flow targeted or it could be pressure targeted. In case of flow target, you can select square wave pattern or you can select the decelerating waveform pattern. In the pressure targeted mode, you will have only one choice, that is the naturally producing decelerating waveform pattern. Okay, so there will be naturally producing decelerating waveform pattern in pressure targeted mode. Now you can simply say whether it is a pressure target or flow target by looking to the pressure time graph. If there is a deviate in the pressure time graph, that means there is decrease in the proximal airway pressure. Okay, now it cannot happen in case of the pressure targeted. It can only happen in flow targeted mode. Okay, so if there is a deviate, that means it is flow targeted, not a pressure targeted mode. Now other thing is cycle. The cycle, either it could be time cycle, flow cycle and volume cycled. Now flow, it is usually cycle in case of the pressure targeted mode. Now usually what we select 25%, that means what does the 25% mean? That means if the peak inspiratory pressure decreases to 25%, there is termination of inspiratory phase. Okay, now the last thing, that is the baseline. Baseline is the proximal airway pressure during the expiratory phase. Thanks for watching this video. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel, and if you have any suggestions, I will be happy to receive your feedback. You can follow me on Facebook by the name dr.munir.jan. You can follow me on the Instagram by the name dr.munir.jan. Thank you very much.